Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Scorpio January 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Now, we have an interesting deck for you this month. My daughter found this in a flea market, just wrapped up with string. There's no box, no papers, nothing to identify what it is. You might know what it is, but I do know that the imagery on it is great and will give you a good reading. Now, of course, in the course of the last month, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people from different parts of the world over FaceTime and Skype, and the details are in the description. Now, I charge for those, but what I do not charge for is healing, and I've done a lot of healings over FaceTime and Skype for people from different parts of the world as well. Now, healing is a spiritual gift, like the gift of clairvoyance, that was provided to me on birth. But the point is that I'm to receive nothing in return for it, and so it is provided absolutely free without any catch. There's no obligation. You will not be sold or recommended anything. It is what it is, but you understand that the healing comes through me and not from me. Now, there are no advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy it direct. And dare I say, great to see the subscribers. Thank you for inviting me into your home each month. It's always so good to see you. You're part of my extended family, truly you are. Well, let's get it underway, shall we? Show me the magic. Temperance. 4 of Wands. See what this is, eh? The 7 of Wands. Here is the King of Pentacles. And finally, what do we have? We have this, which is the Magician. Well, I'll bring the camera around. As is our usual practice, why don't you come and sit down here next to me? You and I will have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while they speak to you and I'll do the reading for you. Now, there's quite a deal of esoteric imagery in the paintings that are here, which I might point out those things which I find interesting, but of course you are entitled to take from the art whatever you would like. Now, where will I start? I'm going to start here with the Magician. I don't think the Magician gets enough time, really, and the powers of the Magician are not fully understood by most people here. Let's have a look at some of the imagery that's here for a start. Now, Mercury is all over this card, the planet of Mercury, which is the avatar, if you like, of the divine intellect, your intelligence, your ability to analyze, and in particular to communicate. And Mercury carries a caduceus, which is like a staff with the snakes wandering wrapped around there. And they show and are the creating symbol of opposing forces in balance. Now, these 10 stars that shoot from his hat symbolize the number 10, of course, representing the continuous cycle of completion and then another beginning. Now, the Magician's table you'll be familiar with. It has a number of the yin and yang symbols on it. Here are the suits of the tarot, incidentally, the cups and the wands, the coins and air. But these yin-yang symbols are interesting here, which is about balancing the dualities of male and female energies. And his finger is shooting power down into the ground, symbolizing your creative inspiration, which can manifest into the physical. And the snake down here, biting its tail, is radiant creative energy transforming itself into manifestation. Now, there's a lot of smoke I can notice going around to the outside here. That's actually an interesting take on it, and what I would take from it is that the smoke represents illusion and delusion, because if air, which represents action, and fire, which represents passion, if they are not both in balance, then you aren't able to see through the trickery of the smoke. And very much a lot of Mercury here. Now, I'll say something else about the magician, because this is, and take from this what I say, which is going to be applying to you for this month. You see, the magician is actually poised between the conscious and the unconscious. He is the shaper and the creator of reality. Now, this position gives him the power to dip into the yet unformed unconscious world and weave the threads to influence its becoming into reality. Now, because this card has turned up and in the position it has, this is saying that you must tap into your creative vitality, whether to control a situation or to create a new one in order to give birth to or to develop something that you want. Now, he's telling you that you now have absolute power to change things according to your will. Do you want to be a magician? It's all about the absolute, disciplined refinement of the intellect. Now, this thing that you want to create may be a new venture or just some desire that you want to have fulfilled, but you must intensify your positive thoughts and expand your belief that anything you desire is possible using dedication, determination, creative ingenuity, and an intense ambition to make what is possible into a reality. You should use your personal genius to move and to merge with the fluid substance that transmits activity into actuality, I should say. Now, I guess what this is saying is that you must also examine a situation which you might know, or which actually could be hidden from you just at the moment, but it comes to light. Just really look at it with a single-minded purpose. And the magician here is reminding you that the primal force of creativity is yours if you claim your power and act with insight and deliberation. Now, he's saying here that he comes with strength and brilliance to you, committed to helping you, if you use those things of determination and ambition, to get what you want. Now, he can also indicate a strong attraction or an intense fascination to something or to somebody, but it is definitely a signal that the time is now right for you to put your will into action. By immersing yourself in his powers, you become a lightning rod, like his lightning rod here of creative energy, to attract what you want and turn and shape the world around you to bring about the things that you want. Now, this is not actually a forceful intellectual effort. It's a kind of a carefree, matter-of-fact belief. That is the secret to this card. Just to know that it is possible, rather than hoping that it is possible. Hope is a word that you should take out of your vocabulary. Know that you will receive what you desire. Visualize it. Because the key is that you are the center and origin of your own reality. So you've got to be bold and reach out for what you want with absolute belief in your own creative power. So I think it's unmistakable, really, that you now have at your disposal brilliant capabilities, which you can also share with other people. Now, one important task is to find or create the proper surroundings for your activities. Ask yourself this: in what areas lie your talents, Play to your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. And with what methods and in what surroundings can you pass these talents on? When you give something away, you get back tenfold. Visualize your ideal area of activity. Describe it, write it down precisely. And say this to yourself. I create magic when I use my inherent gifts and talents. I honor the resources of skilled communication which is within me. The full expression of my creative potential fulfills me, and it makes me happy and satisfied. Well, I did spend rather an amount of time on that magician. I just think it's just such a powerful energy. And if you capture that energy, train yourself with it, exercise with it, bring it to yourself, then it's a fact. The world does have magicians, and the mind is important. Now here is the King of Pentacles. Let's have a look at some of the imagery quickly that's on here. Well, there are two bears which I see that are there, and they symbolize the connection with feminine energy of Mother Earth. And his green crown that's on there, that speaks of focus, healing, wisdom, and intuition. Now it looks like there's a couple of spirals, these golden spirals that are there. They represent the triple goddess, I would say. Now, interestingly here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a pentagram star. And that expresses humans living on Earth in balance with peace and grace. Green, of course, is, and he's wearing it here, and it's in nature, green is the color of love and life. And so his clothing signifies growth, harmony, and healing. And these stars, which are on his arms, and which flow also down here, they reveal all of the magical possibilities that life has for you now. The only other thing I'll mention now, because there's plenty of other things there, I guess, but it's this unicorn. Now, I'll tell you a secret. The unicorn is, in mystical terms, seen as a symbol to capture that unspoken language of the magical spirit that brings creation into the world of matter. Now, Virgo is going to be important to you at this time, I would say, and probably Leo is as well, as what I'm getting here. Just make sure that light is shining on it. There it is. Now, this could well be someone connected with the land, or someone who works with the land, or works with things to do with the land. You will be patient, I think, at this time. Quite a hard worker. You'll be very clever. And you will also be somebody who has the ability to, I think, work with, and it is a time for you to work with intuition, I think, rather than trying any experiments out at the moment. Don't risk things at the moment. It's the time for going along steadily and using what you know works. In fact, it is your good work ethic which is going to bring results over the longer term here. And I will also say this, that now is the time to set your abilities to work, probably in service of some kind. Now, I do think that the in-tray, the mountain of tasks before you is large, and this is going to demand the use of all of your powers. But if you make the effort, the harvest is going to reward you richly. Now, are there any tasks you would like to avoid in your life? Whenever things seem to be too much trouble for you, concentrate on the positive results of your actions for you and for other people as well. And your internal learning and growing process is probably the most important outcome at this time. More important even at the moment than that which you achieve by your actions, because I think the results are coming through in a longer time. But do say this to yourself, that with every task that comes my way comes also the energy needed to accomplish it. Now, I'm getting a sense of Leo energy around here, and yes, that is why, and it is Mars in Leo. I'll get to that in just a second, the astrology of Mars in Leo, but let's have a look at the image here. I don't need to point things out, I think you can see things there. Now, here in the Seven of Wands, the Sun Lion that you can see there, well, I think that symbolizes courage, love, and strength. The 7 rays of, well, I'm going to point it out, these 7 rays of light that are shooting out from the lion's mane, they express the fiery courage and strength of life force within your heart at the moment. And there are these stars, the 7 of those. They represent the full expression of the cosmos inside of you. And there's this young person standing there amongst a circle, which these wands here, I think, speak of your journey to date, but nothing more significant mystically than that. What is significant, though, is the astrology of Mars in Leo, because Mars in Leo, and, well, actually it's quite interesting because the number 7 here, I have a mystical association with the planet of Venus. And so we have Mars and Venus hanging around in the sign of Leo. So the energy of fire in the suit of wands, and of Mars itself actually, is weakened because it's quite far down at the number 7 away from the ace. And it's also got the presence, that feminine energy of Venus that's there, which is diluting the strength of fire. Now, Mars normally gets on very well with Leo, but here again, so far down, I don't know that great harmony exists. And you might well think, though, with respect to some activities that you are pursuing, whether social or work or relationship, you might well think that it is your Mars-like energy, which is about the only thing that's keeping you going at the time. You might feel as if you are fighting a losing battle, or even on a sinking ship. Now, Mars in Leo usually indicates someone acting with authority and power. Now, you will have that authority and power, but here in the center, surrounded by these other cards, and with that astrology and that presence of Venus, you are going to need to dig deep and use all your resources in what might seem to you to be a difficult situation. And there could well be a lack of focus, or even for a moment a sense of desperation in the way things are going on here. The strength here, the courage here, is an outgrowth of your prior personal experience. You have come across difficulties, challenges before. You know them, and this courage that is within you now arises through your ability to have learnt from past experience. And if you apply those lessons, you'll be able to take further risks in relation to a situation, but with greater awareness. Now, depending on, sometimes in a relationship sense, if there's a relationship problem going around, you might feel that you're running out of energy and ideas as to how to keep sustaining it. It doesn't need to just be a romantic relationship. It could be a social relationship or a work relationship, of course. But you might feel that you're running out of the energy, and that Mars energy is being used up to keep that relationship going. Or it could relate to work or other matters where you're sort of coming to the end of your tether as to events and situations that are there. But I think the compromises are out of the question now, because they would require a denial of your own inner reality. It is time for you to stand your ground and to remain true to your energies unconditionally. Now, being true to yourself includes standing up for your own truth, even in the face of immense resistance. Trust your power. Now, a situation could be here where it is important that you must assert yourself at all costs. But of course, are you ready to accept all the consequences? Become aware of whatever fears have prevented you until now from asserting yourself. And say this to yourself: I express my own reality openly and honestly. Now, I think you might look inside yourself to come up with part of digging this deep. It's about reaching into yourself and digging deep, and this is here to assist you. This is assisting you in that process of digging deep. This is basically a divine cavalry. The cavalry has arrived from the divine to assist you with any problems that are coming along here. Now here I see the Archangel Michael, the angel of the sun and protection. Now the solar disc, which is on his forehead that's there, I think that signifies that he is the fire of the soul that enlivens, purifies, and transforms your mind and emotions. Now he's got a red square on his chest, and it's also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-pointed star sitting on it. Well, the square symbolizes the reality of his physical manifestation, his manifestation in space and time. And the 7-pointed star is a symbol of mastery. So you will be able with mastery to overcome problems that are here. Now, of course, there are 2 cups being used here, 1 silver and 1 gold. The golden cup, you may not be able to see it, but it has a lion that's carved on it, which represents the sun, spirit, and fire. The silver cup has an eagle carved on it, symbolizing the moon, emotion, and water. And interestingly, you see, we mystics favor the right side for spiritual matters, and he's dipping his right foot into this pool against this crescent moon, and his left foot remains on earth. This is signifying that the divine, which is here in the spiritual realm, is also present here with you in matter, in space and in time. In fact, this rainbow signifies the connection between the divine and matter. And here is, of course, the sun coming up, which acts as a sort of a halo around him, which is a signification of the divine as well. These 2 paths, one going off to the moon and one to the sun, they don't add a lot to me. Now, what this is talking about is that you will be employing a combination of talents and forces within you, which is going to allow you to realize your strength and power. And you will be taking action based on an accurate assessment of the environment and the people and the politics of what's going on here. There is here for you success after what has been probably some complicated dealings. I also see here with this an energy which represents escape, getting away, getting free, becoming free from, or even getting away with something. There's a unification of opposites here, particularly those light and dark sides within yourself, a balance and inner change. A great creative power that's here. Now, I'll say also, incidentally, that you are now beginning to bring about balance and moderation in your life, and be patient and let things develop by themselves, which is what this guy was sort of saying in a way as well, wasn't he? Do some self-evaluation and re-examine your life's priorities. This is a challenge for you to look inward. This is about integrating opposites. The transformation process which you go through is not going to tolerate any aggravation or interference or pushes from the outside. You have a diamond, a precious stone within you. Now, if we were to go and mine into the depths of the ground, of the earth, to find the diamond or the precious stone, this is what you must do as well. To find that hidden stone, the diamond, you must look within. Now, what does it mean for you now to find your hidden diamond? Close your eyes and visualize a fountain of energy in your body and bathe a while in this rejuvenating current. And say to yourself, I equally value the light and dark within my own nature. I am a well-integrated person. I surrender to the transforming powers of the divine. I am an open channel for creative energy. And then finally, it is finally, I think, isn't it? Is this turned on? Let me just check this light. It just looks a bit... Yes, I've changed it to the other light energy source there. Now, finally we have, let's have a look here, what is this? Four of Wands, indeed. It's a medicine wheel. Let's have a look. Well, there are here a couple of little bears that have stopped to enjoy the harvest, which is the Four of Wands for you, and they need to eat so that they can get the energy to go up and climb these mountains, I suppose. Now, birds are singing and the bees are humming around. Now, these little bear cubs, they represent your dualities, male and female, at play, journeying through life together. Now, up here, I looked at this medicine wheel thing, but I also see there's an 8-pointed star on this medicine wheel, and that shines out, symbolizing divine energy taking form. The 8-pointed star symbolizes also balance, harmony, and cosmic order. And the medicine wheel itself, this circular thing with that square thing in the middle of it, that represents wholeness, completion, and a new beginning. Now, astrologically, I have Venus coming into the third decan of Aries here, the 10th to the 19th of April. Look, Venus is going to be in detriment when it gets into Aries. And Aries, of course, is ruled by the planet of Mars. And you might think that Mars and Venus sitting together, that is going to be a problem. Look, in this situation, I don't think it is, because I'm looking at this, and as far as I'm concerned, this could also be the planet of Venus here, and this looks like the morning time to me. In the evening, Venus has the form of, very much that form of bestowing the capacity to attract and realize, to attract to you the things that you want, that you crave, that you desire, things and people. In the morning, Venus, when she rises before the sun, is the morning star, and she has a completely different character for me. There, she becomes the warrior princess, and so she sits at ease with Mars in this situation here. So this is speaking to you now of completion, unity, and the possibility of new beginnings. This is a green light to success here. There's a foundation has been laid, and it's the first stage towards the ultimate completion. Maybe setting up some new enterprise, or even thinking about giving a new business a go, a new home a go. Now, Venus, of course, is the symbol of beauty and love. And she here combines in Aries which is the principle of new beginnings. So your heart pushes forth and seeks the development of the beautiful in new directions. But before the new can arise, the old must be complete. Now, this conflict between opposites has got to be sorted out in a way which will further you on your way towards what you want. Now, tension in relationships can work positively when the individuality of each partner is recognized and respected. And this obviously makes it possible for you to support one another in moving forward. But it's clear to me that something beautiful is making its way into your relationships. Now, you may notice it first as the established status quo or established way of doing things is called into question and discussed openly. Sorting out the old is a prerequisite for achieving a new oneness, a new beginning. Now, are you prepared to accept your partner as she or he is in spite of your differences? And what areas are in urgent need of clarification or resolution? Now, if there is some tension between you and somebody else, now is definitely a good time to clarify it and sort out the interaction and complete the old. And say this to yourself, because it's true for you at this time, that completing the old frees me for the new. Well, what a fantastic set of cards and cosmic energy for you. And didn't you do a good job? Well, I said that was an interesting deck, didn't I? And what a fantastic set of imagery it was. What a good month it's going to be for you, I think, and don't you deserve it? Truly you do. Fantastic. Well, unless I see you privately beforehand, then I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.